Now, once this dude didn't come back, about 3-4 days, all of a sudden now, right back to it, all day, every day. When they realized this guy wasn't coming back, all day, every day, don't stop, don't pass, go, every day. People in and out this house. Every day. You couldn't do nothing in the house without seeing people, drug addicts. But see, with all this going on, they still seem to find time to say something negative about me. Now, one day, they in the kitchen getting ready to cook. They got about 3-4 people with them. Like I said, it's always a house full. So they tell somebody, yeah, you know, when me and my woman come down here to cook, you know, we got to clean the kitchen up first. Because they be leaving, you know, stuff in here like this. Well, what was he talking about? Was the kitchen just full of dishes? Ain't nobody washed dishes all day? No, that wasn't the case. What he was talking about, we was leaving, is that we had cooked and it was food that got, you know, a little dark around the pot and it wouldn't just wash out. The problem is we didn't have no scrubber. You know, SOS pad, Troy boy, we didn't have none. And I didn't have no money to buy none and they didn't buy none. So what we would do is just put some hot water and soap in there and let it soak for a few hours, then come back and wash it. But here it is, he knew this. But he got to take this and turn it into a negative story about how they got to clean up before they cook. You know, because they so bougie. Bougie crackheads. It didn't stop there. Because every time I looked around, they had something to say. As though I can't hear what they saying about me. Now, one day, they're talking. Again, at this point, it's about 5 or 6 grown men. They all in their 30s, 40s, 50s. And my family member, you know, he in the center. You know, he like the center of attention. He said, yeah, my little brother. He said, this little dude here, he don't know nothing about living. See, when I was 17, I had money, had me a car, I had clothes, I had women, I was living. He don't know nothing about that. So, I hear this, and I'm listening, and I'm thinking like, yeah, you probably did. But why? See, the difference between me and you grew up with your mother and father, had them your whole life. Me, on the other hand, I'm 16. For the last 3 years, I've had no parents. I've had no adults around me that was any benefit to me. My mother died 3 years ago. And ever since then, my life has been hell. I've seen everything possible. Think about it. I'm in a situation that I'm not having food on a regular basis, knowing I got a guardian that's getting a check from me every month. I take the little food I got and buy the little money I got and buy food, and any day I could wake up and ain't no food in the house to eat. I could go to the bathroom and ain't no toilet paper because there's so many people in and out of the house using it. I just sit up here and watch my mother's house go from this nice home, immaculate, to being a roach-infested crack house. I done seen our family destroyed based on lies. I done seen so much, been through so much, but you ain't been through none of this, none of it. So how can you sit here and talk about me, and you more than 20 years older than me, and you're a crackhead? This sent me into a psychotic state of mind, constantly hearing things like this from my own family, talking bad about me because of what I'm dealing with, what I'm going through. So, after my sister never did nothing about our mother's house becoming a crack house, remember when I left her house, I only took a small duffel bag with clothes in it. So I still had some stuff there that I never even went back and got. Well, one of the things was my shotgun. So I called her one day and said, hey, I'm about to come get my gun. Now here it is, I'm a 15-year-old kid telling you I'm about to come get my gun. You steal my gun. And I'm telling her I'm tired of what's going on at the house, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get them out of here. And when I go over there, she hands me the gun. She don't say nothing. She don't talk to me. She don't say, hey, you know, this ain't how you want to deal with this. You don't want to attack your own family. Let me go talk to her. None of that, none of that, none of that. You think about that. What kind of guardian are you? You sitting this 15-year-old over here, angry, with a shotgun? So, when I get back, I'm dealing with all this in my mind. I sit on the couch. Mind you, wasn't no furniture there because my sister had cleaned the house out, and they had got a couch from somewhere. I don't know where they got it from, but I'm sitting on it. And I'm sitting up analyzing everything that has been going on. I'm looking around my mother's house. I'm looking at the holes in the wall. I'm looking at how dirty the walls are and how I grew up. We had to wash the walls on a regular basis to keep them bright white. Now they with dirty handprints. I'm looking at the hardwood floors I used to watch my mother get on her hands and knees and do perfectly. I'm looking at the tile floors that she used to wax, and they are dirty. And it's making me angrier and angrier as I'm watching people steady in and out of the house. I'm smelling crack smoke, cigarette smoke, all through the house. Somebody, one of them people, that had been coming in and out of the house. They was eating something sweet, cookies, cake, something. They dropped some on the floor. And when I looked over there, it was swarms of roaches swarming over this. And I jumped off the couch, stomping the roaches. Anger going through my body. When I got done, I went to the kitchen. And when I walked in the kitchen, I see a crackhead in there, which made me even more angrier. I grabbed the broom and dustpan, went and swept the bugs up. And when I went back in there and threw them in the trash, this crackhead had been in our refrigerator. He was helping himself to some of our Kool-Aid. And I was so angry that I swiped that cup off the counter. Kool-Aid flew everywhere. He jumped back, made a noise, but he seen the look on my face and walked right out the door. Now, it was springtime. So what they would do is they would leave the front door open. So therefore their company, all they had to do was ring the doorbell and then walk in. They would come down and meet them and take them on upstairs. So when this crackhead left out, I locks the door. I sit back on the couch. And every time somebody came from upstairs, I locked the door behind them. When the last person came down, the family member comes down and say, "Hey man, why you keep locking the door?" I say, "Man, because I'm tired. I'm tired of all these people in and out of my mama's house." He said something slick to me out his mouth. I don't even know what he said, but as soon as he said it, I whipped out my shotgun and stuck it in his face. I said, "All this stuff you're doing at my mama's house is over with. All the things you've been saying about me is over with." At that moment, I realized how people talking bad about you can affect you to react in ways that they cannot even imagine. He didn't say nothing. When I pulled the gun back and started walking away, he walked back upstairs and went in his room and didn't say nothing. I sit on that couch and made sure didn't nobody walk through that door of my mother's house again. I sit on the couch for hours. They didn't even come out their bedroom. And when they finally did, he come downstairs and go to the kitchen. So I'm sitting there now. I done been there so long, I ain't even mad no more. I'm actually feeling pretty good that I done put a stop to this. So as he was on his way back up the stairs, I said, "Hey man, come here. Let me talk to you." I'm 15 years, well, I turned 16 by now. They was 36. But I'm sitting them down like they the teenager. "Let me talk to you." And he come and he sit down, reluctantly. He's sitting down, man, face all turned up. I'm like, hey, what are we doing here? It ain't no money being made. My mother's house is being tore up. We got all this stuff going on that need to be done, and ain't nobody doing it. You ain't making no money. Look at this, man. House infested with roaches. I'm a kid. I don't really know nothing about what to do, you know, because me and my mother never had roaches. Now the house infested. What would bug spray cost back then? Bombs, you know, boric acid, whatever, you know. But you ain't paying no attention to that. The front steps is concrete, but they need to be patched up. Today, a bag of concrete costs $3. Well, how much was it back then? 50 cents? I'm a kid. I didn't know nothing about what to do or how to do it. The top stair is so bad that the mailman almost fell several times because the step flipping up. And what the family member done, he went and put a piece of wood in there, you know, to stop it. But all we needed was a bag of cement. Then the sewer in the basement was starting to back up. And we would smell it and had to go down there and clean the stuff up, you know, and dump it out in the dumpster and use bleach, you know, to kill the smell. It was doing it probably about once a week or so. But today, what it costs to run a snake, you know, last time I got a snake run was $75. But what was it? Back then, about 25? So what are we doing here? So he got up off the couch, went back upstairs, just like an angry teenager. Stomped up the stairs, went to his bedroom, slammed the door, and he started talking to his woman. He said, ain't nobody gonna pull no gun on me and think it's all right. As long as I'm in this house, I'm running this. Now I'm sitting there on that couch still. I'm listening to this. And I can't even believe he just said this. What is he running from my mother's house into the ground? Well, as you know, they left not long after.